All right, so I decided to start a brand new podcast called The Chris Colgan Show. We're going to be talking about all things DMV and Northern Virginia related. And my first guest is Alex Hussein, who runs DCSpot, a popular Instagram with over 300,000 followers and 150,000 followers on TikTok. He talks about all things, attractions, things to do, restaurants around here in the DMV, and I think you're going to like it. So let's get right into the first podcast. I'm here with Alex Hussein.
Thank you for having me.
My buddy here. So, dude, tell me a little, really quick about yourself a little bit, like who you are, like your page, DCSpot, all that.
Yeah, so I started in 2016 doing content creation, like photography, videography, and then that sort of, brought me into 2019, summer of 2019, making the page DCSpot on Instagram. And that was all just basically for me to go more into DC because I live in Springfield, Virginia. And
so you were like looking for a way to like go into DC and do things. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay,
and this was just like a hobby. I wanted to do some like landscape photos because I was into photography at the time. But as you know, Instagram's always changing. It went into the reels with the videos, and then a lot of restaurants were contacting me. So it sort of changed into more of like a foodie page, but still highlighting DC, different types of businesses, and then events that occur in DC or any type of like new hype type of thing, like the F1 arcade.
Yeah, dude. Like I saw that. That was like a sick video. I was actually really jealous of that one.
Yeah.
And then I've seen you like do stuff with like Dunkin' Donuts and Chick-fil-A. So we're not talking small players here.
Yeah. So we got to eventually, as we grow, people contact us to do sponsorships and et cetera, which I didn't expect at the time, but snowballed into that.
Yeah. So like, how does that work? Like, cause I know I've built up 2 Instagram pages. That is not easy. Like how many, did it take you a long time or? Because it kind of becomes like an animal, you're like, I got to keep feeding this beast here.
Yeah. It almost feels like you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was my first page. Before DCSpot, it was actually called Traveler's Look. And I was thinking about doing like a travel type of page, like vacation spots. But I never got into it. So I just changed the name to DCSpot and went on with that. And it was pretty like, I recognized what does well on social media pretty fast. So I just... I kept getting examples from people and, just doing my own thing where I could see that I can get attention and, sort of just, took it from there. And I still, have a feel of like what gets attention, what doesn't get attention. Sometimes, as you know, like there are posts you post are like, oh, this will be great and doesn't do good or vice versa. So it's kind of just monitoring social media, seeing where the attention's at.
Right. Yeah. Like, cause we were just talking earlier. Yeah. I was talking like a DC area. I feel like people don't care about real estate. And me and him have put in, like me and the camera guy, putting a ton of effort into like mansions. Yeah. And then like no one watches it. And I'm like, what the heck? Is there like a business, like a type of business that can reach out to you and be like, hey, let's do a video. Can you do this? And you're like, okay, that's not going to really take off.
Yeah. There's been a couple and, like spas have reached out. Not like big spas, but just like
a local one.
Stuff I'm like, it won't perform well. Or even restaurants that aren't like that unique, but they're further from DC. I always tell them like, it's not going to perform well. It won't be worth, the money if it's just paid sponsorship, et cetera. Yeah. So there's been a couple, businesses, even people with like products with like a dog food brand. They're local, but like it wouldn't perform well on my page. But
what I found with like Instagram too is if you're like trying to do something like hire a big page like yours, you have to be active yourself. Like you just don't go out and hire somebody, pay them a bunch of money, and then it like blows you up. Like you got to be posting all the time, like bring them back to something. Is that what you've kind of seen?
Yeah, like you kind of you like got to ride the wave, Right. If you do, I think back in the day it'd be easier to like do a shout out, etc., and get benefit from that.
Right.
But nowadays you kind of got to be on your own thing and then maybe get some shout outs that can help you at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Like what does that process look like? So if a restaurant hits you up or like a food truck and they're like, hey, like let's do a sponsorship, you agree on a number, like do you go out there, set up a time when it's open and like shoot a bunch of clips, then voiceover?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah, it's a great question. Now I have one guy who helps me out. His name's Mo. And him and I figure out time usually during the weekday at like 11 or 12 where we're not hitting traffic and it's slow in the restaurant so we can get the chef's attention. And we'll go in, film the food being made, We'll take all the food out to the table, film it there, play around with it, cut it, open it, and then we'll do a couple shots taking bites, and we'll film the inside. And then we'll also ask, the owner, manager, if they can send a few clips while it's busy.
Right.
You know, just iPhone clips is good enough. And we toss it into our video. But we take notes there, important things to mention, and then take it home. I'll write up a script. I've been using ChatGPT to help me out recently.
I use that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been very helpful in saving time. And then, voiceover. I have an editor now who helps me out, but I also edit some stuff that's more like urgent. So, either I have someone edit the video with my voiceover, or I just edit it and then send it over just so they can preview it, let me know if it's good, and then we'll post it up.
Right. Like, what place have you done that, I don't know if this is the right way to ask, but you were like, okay, I'll definitely do it, but all right, whatever, I don't know if this is going to work out. And then you go and you're like, holy crap, this place is amazing, and it really popped off on your page.
Yeah, I mean, we just went to a place in towards your area, Ashburn.
Yeah.
And it's a unique spot, but I told them it's far away, and there's other locations that are closer to us. They just own that specific one in Ashburn. So I told them it might not do well, but they want to proceed on anyways with the morning. So we haven't posted it yet, but we'll see. But there's been a couple places. It's hard to think of, but there's been a place in Gaithersburg. It's a noodle spot.
Yeah.
And that video just took off. We didn't really expect much from it. But it took off, and we're like, that's happened a couple times. We're like, okay, that's better for us engagement-wise. I feel happy knowing the client's going to get good business out of it, too.
Yeah, because you were, talking earlier before we went on here about that food truck. I keep seeing that guy everywhere.
Yeah.
I think I saw him with you first. You bring, a bag of Doritos. He puts the food in there. Did you know about that place, or did you kind of just connect with him?
So I actually worked with him years ago. And then he started his own brand, Chili Pepper Cooks, personal, cooking type of content.
Right.
And then he started a food truck, and then that started to surpass his personal brand with his whole trend of bring your own bag, and they fill it up with meat and etc. And so I knew him for a while, and when I saw it taking off on social media, I'm like, hey, let's do a video. And I did a video with him actually before Keith Lee went out and did a video of his.
Okay, cool.
So, but Keith Lee came and then did a video too and posted it. So I was like, oh, let me post it right afterwards.
Right,
too.
yeah, get off of his stuff, yeah.
And that ended up being my most viewed video. It has over 20 million views right now.
Holy crap, that's a lot of views.
Yeah, insane. But his page is just taking off. He had 80,000 followers.
Yeah.
Now he has over 400,000. It's insane.
Dude, that's crazy, right? He's got that much clout or power because he can just do one post now, and all these people are getting and being consistent about it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because his personal page that he had before the food truck and before he started that business had 1 million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
And now this new business and his trend is probably going to surpass his personal.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That dude must know what he's doing. What about what do you think best type of restaurants do well in our area? Because honestly, people kind of rag on our area for food.
Yeah.
Even that Keith Lee guy, he kind of acted like it wasn't that great here, right?
Yeah, and people were saying he didn't go to the best spots, etc. I'm not sure. I don't know what recommendations he got and stuff, but
right.
I think we definitely have some good food, but there's a lot of places that look nice, they're very Instagrammable, but the food is not there.
Yeah.
And then there's vice versa, places that look crappy and the food is amazing. But it's hit or miss sometimes. Some businesses are there for the looks, and that brings in customers.
Right.
They bring in a ton of customers and money, especially just from drinks and looks.
Yeah.
But sometimes, they may not get it, the reoccurring customers all the time.
I feel with the restaurant industry, that's got to be a hard industry, right? Because you got to hit it off the bat right away, and then you can't really change your menu around. Even if you do change it, then people are going to be I miss the old menu, and you said, it can look good, and there's got to be a lot of overhead to that too, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and there's also just making the customers happy. Even I've read some statistic, if you have a customer come 4 times and they're happy, maybe it's more, and they come the 5th and they're not happy, they won't come back because of one thing that happened. So it's hard. You really got to make customers happy.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Definitely. So doing all these, do you think DC has the best food scene, Virginia, Maryland, which has been the best that you've seen?
I mean, it's hard to. I haven't been in Maryland too much, but DC is good. I think Northern Virginia has like a lot of diverse food. Like Northern Virginia is diverse, very diverse, as you know. Like I think there's all types of food in Nova. I was born and raised in Nova, so it makes I've been able to explore more there. But DC has its good stuff. DC definitely has more good date night spots, I would say. Like more like
for
it's
sure.
nice, dim lit. The food's good too. Like I think DC's great for date nights. If you're trying to go for like quick and good food, like you can find some stuff in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, definitely like in Northern Virginia. You can, like, you're right, like, you go on a good date, but like if you go to like some random place in Northern Virginia, you don't know if it's going to be like an Applebee's type or
there's
what.
not that many. Maybe Tyson's has some spots, but like I don't know. I mean, obviously then there's like in Reston, you have, Barcelona Wine Bar and like some other places in Reston, but I don't know. I kind of think it's scattered around Northern Virginia, where DC has like some close, like back to back, like nice restaurants next to each other. So
yeah, for sure, dude. Like, so you were like born in Nova, and so was I. Which do you feel like this is like a super rare thing? Like, I feel like no one's from here.
Yeah, it almost feels like that, but I think with the rise of like social media, you're seeing more people. But still, like I think we don't have big personalities here. There's Tony P. And then there's, I guess
the sports teams have been like terrible for the past 20 years.
I guess the Commanders are doing better this year.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better
but
now. Yeah.
We don't have. It's not like LA or even like Texas. A lot of people I watch, nowadays too, are from Texas, and like, I think we don't have like that crazy, content creators out here, personalities, or they just move out from here. But
yeah, for sure. Yeah, like one thing I've noticed being in real estate is people will leave here and they'll like rag on it, and then they end up coming back like 4 years later.
Yeah,
that happens all the time. And then they say the job market, and they're like, actually, the area wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more people I think they can connect with outside the Virginia or like DC or et cetera, because a lot of people move out west or wherever, Texas or wherever,
Right, yeah. Like, dude, what do you think, like, since you've been going on, like, what do you think the one thing, like, Northern Virginia is missing the most?
One thing Northern Virginia is missing the most? That's a good question.
Yeah, like, I feel like everyone, like, I was asking people earlier, and they were like, Buc-ee's, they're doing that, but it's going to be more than, like, Southern Virginia, and then, like, different, like, more, like, local coffee shops, like, things like that, but I kind of feel like we have, like, a lot of stuff to do here. We don't have a beach, obviously, but...
Yeah. We have a lot, but like I think more is coming into the area.
Yeah.
Especially with like food. I mean, the F1 Arcade came here, which is big. Second, U.S. location for F1 Arcade. And then what came last summer? What was it? I forgot. It was in Union Station. It was a big fried chicken.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, like a big fried chicken thing.
Yeah. So like, I think slowly they're making their way to DC. But
there's like so much money here too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, that's the other thing that always surprised me, that like more stuff aren't coming here.
I was actually I was driving by Leesburg the other day, and I saw the Top Golf and then the iFly.
Oh yeah,
right
over
there.
by One Loud, and we did a bunch of videos over there.
And there's like a shooting range I think over there too. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. Like there's like these like three like very like fun activities all in the same area.
Yeah.
But
you know what I love about Ashburn, like living in this area my whole life, is there's like the Top Golf, like One Loud, and then you look to the left and there's a huge data center.
Oh yeah,
and you look to your right and there's like the Commanders field goal post.
Yeah.
It's like really random over there.
It is. But Ashburn, they're full of data. I was just there the other day, and there were just data centers anywhere.
Dude,
everywhere.
Like I live in western Prince William County. Like they are legit everywhere. Like they're not even building houses anymore. Like they're just like literally building data centers. And I just saw the other day, it's like 35% of Virginia's power is for data centers. Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's where the money is, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a sucker. I should have bought we could have bought a bunch of land when we were like 8 years old out here. Yeah, dude, like, would you, so, like, do you do, like, the DCSpot full-time? Is it part-time?
Yeah, so I started full-time with my company, Alex H Media, where we're doing, like, social media management, content creation, freelance photography and videography for, like, whatever it may be, birthdays, quinceañeras, engagement shoots, etc. And then now DCSpot has, like, taken more of my time, where we work with a lot of restaurants and do paid collaborations. And then even just companies, Dunkin', as you mentioned, and some others. But We have one client still with Alex H Media doing their social media management and content creation. Is our first client
Nice.
we've ever worked with, so it's nice to have them around. Hot Chicken Kitchen, but and I do some freelance stuff still. But with DCSpot, I'm actually creating a exclusive deal book. It's kind of like the venture book where it has a scratch off and then it has an area for a Polaroid picture, an area for notes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So we're creating that and we're trying to sell it through DCSpot. So hopefully it does well. We have like 27 restaurants in the book. It's a physical book. And, there's over $300 in deals. Like there's like 2 free frozen drinks. And then there's like a free mixed spread at Allah. And there's good deals in there. So you'll get value, but we're trying to sell it like an actual product and
so you
see
like
how
bring
it
the
does.
book, you can take a picture there, like get the discount
you like,
and all that.
Oh, I mean, you can tear the deal off,
Right,
and then
yeah.
you just turn it into like a waiter or manager. But the whole purpose is to like try to sell a product and make money through our product versus like working with restaurants. So then that way we can focus on more things that perform better, and that thing will bring great engagement, and then we can market our product in the videos too.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like, so like when a big company hits you up, like I'm like a Dunkin' or Starbucks, I don't know if they hit you up, but are you like, holy crap, I'm getting paid today? And then, or is it like, are they kind of like hardcore negotiators?
No,
like everybody else.
They have a budget. Top Golf was our like best, biggest,
Sponsor or whatever. Yeah.
And they have a budget, but it's very up and down. It's not always like, oh, I'm getting these. So it's nice to get, but then like I know like, it's not gonna be like that every month.
Yeah, 100. I feel like some of them get like a social media budget. And like when I was doing the sneaker one, I'd have like these big like box brands hit me up and they'd say, "Can you post this for $100?"
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's not even worth my time. Not that $100 isn't a lot of money, but I was like, by the time I make this and do all the editing, I'm losing money on this post.
Yeah, some of these like bigger brands don't even pay much. I mean, I guess they have their own marketing or they don't need it, but yeah, it's like you got to choose, I guess, what's worth it, what's not,
Yeah, the cool thing with the sneaker thing, the craziest thing I ever got was through Instagram, was LeBron James people sent me this huge Fruity Pebbles thing, and then you open it and it had a pair of his sneakers.
In the Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah, the Fruity. Yeah, he had like a deal with them.
Oh, that's
and they
pretty
sent
cool.
Me and then like you open it up and there was a box of Fruity Pebbles. Then it was the Flintstones were like slam dunking basketballs on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you like pull it out and like the spoons in there and everything. It has a picture of like LeBron.
That's really
and
cool.
like, dude, I've been offered like thousands of bucks for this thing, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm keeping it. It's like the coolest thing ever.
And
like, they just randomly hit me up. They're like, will you post this on your Instagram? And
so they're like,
yeah,
we'll send you something. Can you just post it up?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, like something like that is worth it. And even just to get
Yeah.
the in with them, like who knows where that would lead down the road.
Yeah, 100%. What I found with them is a lot of them use agencies.
Yeah.
And then, there's been some other like crazy stuff, especially in the sneakers, like Goat, the sneaker thing. They sent me free stuff like that all the time. Yeah, but
it's worth it, especially with like a brand you like. I think if you find, specific brands you like to work with and, you constantly help them out, they send you stuff, I think it can snowball into like something great.
Yeah, for sure, dude, 100%. I think I tell people, like, if they ask me for advice on Instagram, I'm like, just do it every day.
Yeah.
And then, like, come back, like, 60 days later, see what, like, popped off, what didn't popped off. Like I told you before, like, I thought people would love houses. No one really cares about houses in the DMV. Like, they want to know about the area, things to do, like your page. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is to just start creating and see what does well. Like you said, like, and even Mr. Beast talks about it too. Like he says, like create 100 videos, right? And
yeah, it's 100 videos.
And like you have to create a lot of content and see what does well, and then once you find what does well, like kind of keep recreating that with that style. You know, like for you, you tried doing content of houses and didn't do well, but then you did some stuff, updating people on like the area of news or new things coming in. It did well, so why not continue on with that?
Yeah, for sure. Like one of the best YouTube videos I ever did is a video about Manassas, Virginia.
Really?
And what I say that is not like views. It has a couple thousand views, but I've closed like 15 deals off of it.
That's crazy.
Because how many people are like looking up Manassas, Virginia? Like not a lot, but then they'd watch it and be like, oh, you're talking about the area. You're like talking about, that's like the struggle I think for a lot of people is they expect everything to go viral.
Yeah. But then at the same time, you can get a lot of benefit, as you've seen, from the
Yeah, for
smaller
sure.
videos.
Yeah.
And then maybe like people weren't even posting about Manassas, so you search it and you're like the only video they can find.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I just hired a YouTube coach, and he was telling me, he was like, don't even put any of the city names in the title. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, search is only like 5% now. He's like, Google knows everything about everybody, and they're going to put in front of them what people like, you know? So they're using all their search analytics, pretty much all their habits.
Yeah.
And so he was right. Like I made a video about Brambleton, Virginia, and I was like, you got to move to this town in Virginia or whatever, and then like if you search Brambleton, I don't even mention Brambleton in the keywords, it comes up.
Nice.
So I'm like, Google definitely, I mean YouTube, they know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
You know? And Instagram's kind of the same way. Like you talk about something, and then it's like creepy. It starts like showing up your
it's
thing.
listening to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram does a really good job of like feeding you, and even just putting in your normal feed. I mean, back then the feed was just people you follow. Now it's like explore page on your regular feed, your home feed, but it gives you stuff you want to see, and then you follow the people after you see it too. So
yeah, for sure.
it's very nice for people who are actually going out and creating content and want to build their following. Like it's the best time to do it.
I definitely think Instagram's the best platform. It seems to have like the most clout, in my opinion. Like TikTok kind of has no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, I don't know. TikTok's like, and there might be a ban, but
Yeah, right. Yeah.
TikTok has kind of like died down a bit, but I mean, there are people blowing up off TikTok, but I think from loyalty, it almost goes from like YouTube long form videos. That's where you have the most loyal like people to like Instagram to TikTok to maybe YouTube Shorts. I think that's kind of like the ranking.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you a crazy story. So I took one of my like random Instagram reels that I made. It was like a comedy one, and I just like put it on YouTube Shorts, and it went viral. They paid me $3,000. $3,000 for a YouTube short.
Jeez.
So I just got it like literally sent to me like 48 hours ago. It was $3,000, and I was like, "What is this?" And it was off a YouTube short.
How many views?
It had 9 million.
9 million. Wow.
Yeah, and so and like
you have ads on Shorts.
So I think they just determine it because, like, you know, like YouTube, Instagram, what I've learned is they just want you to bring in viewers.
Now, will they pay if you have music from YouTube Shorts?
Yeah, they will. Yeah, you can have music. Now, like my long form, we don't really make much money on because there it's all about like views and all that. Like I do get paid off of it, but you know I'm not living off of it.
Yeah.
But I was like in the bonus program on Instagram, but then they kind of take that away, then it comes back.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you too?
Yeah, I was on it too, and they took it away. Even TikTok had some program, and then it kind of went away. But
I saw that they like interviewed the CEO of Instagram, and they like asked him about it, and he was like, "There's like no rhyme or reason." He was like, "I don't even know what we're doing with it. You know, like we're just throwing money at people and seeing what happens." You know.
I guess they wanted people to create more, but I feel like they have so many creators they don't even almost need it.
Yeah, the beautiful thing I think about like what you're doing and then like what I'm doing is I definitely do feel like a lot of people give up.
Yeah.
Like you have to be like super passionate about it. Like have you seen like people try to copy what you do? Not a copy, but you know, like try to put their own spin on it.
Yeah, I've seen people like same style with like when I used to interview restaurant owners. And you know, I don't think it performed amazing, but like they continue on and don't keep up with it.
Right.
But yeah, you got to have like some sort of passion or else it'll like kind of die down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you definitely got to have a lot of passion, like just about it, like in general, and it can be like very frustrating.
Yeah.
Like especially me when you put your face out there. Like sometimes I'll like read the like DMs I get, and I'm like, you bastard, you know what I mean? Like I want to like find the person and choke them out.
I stopped kind of reading comments.
Yeah.
I just read it like there is what my friend was like saying something on one of my recent videos. Someone was like they commented. Your voice sounds weird, and then someone replied, "Oh, he has an accent or something." And
dude,
like,
yeah, you're like, why did I even read this?
But I don't. Thankfully, I don't really keep up too much with the comments, but it definitely for me, it's not as bad because it's not my personal brand. But I think like I've even tried creating personal content on TikTok, and like when it's your personal brand, it's hard not to like read you know stuff.
Yeah, I stopped looking at it as like honestly, I don't even read mine as much anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, not that like everyone was bad, but it was just like getting to the point where I was like, this isn't even worth reading.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home depressed every night. You know what I mean? I got enough problems.
Yeah.
So like, dude, going back a little bit to like here, like locally, if someone like was watching this or listening, they've never been to Northern Virginia before, like, what would be like the first place you tell them to check out?
That's a good question. I mean, I guess it depends on what they're looking for. I think if it's like a nice place with a good vibe in DC with good food, I really like Delenia. It's a Mexican restaurant in DC, and they have a downstairs level with like it's almost like a speakeasy too. So
that's cool.
It's nice. Like you can go eat and then even get drinks afterwards and chill out. But there's other like some unique stuff, like I guess things not as common, like Z&Z and Manouche in Rockville. Like they make it's a Palestinian owned restaurant. They make like Manouche, and it's pretty good. I mean, Manouche
sounds pretty good.
And it's like almost like an Arabic pizza, Middle Eastern pizza, but
yeah,
that's good too. And it's not as common. Like I haven't seen that many places doing it in this area.
Yeah, definitely.
But then there's a lot of hole in the wall spots that I haven't even discovered yet, and they make good food for sure. But I don't know. I think for me, I like places that are like nice, like for going out, like a nice vibe, and it's like good music, good food.
Right,
ambiance is nice. Like I think it hits like all the spots.
Yeah.
But
what's like the best attraction you think you've like done? Like kind of like that F1 arcade type thing.
That F1 arcade might be it. I mean, it blew up. I didn't even like the first video we posted about it got a couple million views, and I didn't even get to go. Like I went inside, but I didn't get to show the inside because it wasn't done. All I showed was the simulators coming down from the truck.
Right. Oh wow.
But that place is actually I like that place a lot because I think there's going to be a lot of like corporate holiday parties there.
Yeah.
Because it's fun, good music, good food too. They have good food and DJ, and then there's just a fun aspect with the F1 arcade simulators.
Yeah. Like, did they hit you up to come out there, or did you just like go by there?
Yeah, they actually contacted me, and then me and a couple other content creators and my videographer Mo, who helps me out, we all were flown out to Boston to preview the one that's already in Boston.
Oh wow, dude! Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
So, it was fun, and it was a great PR agency that took us out and showed us around. So PR agencies are always great to connect with.
Yeah, for sure, man. What about like where do you think the best place to live is around here? Like.
Best place to live. Oh,
yeah,
man.
like if you
That's
were like,
a question for you, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you were like, dude, like this is like a really underrated place to live in Northern Virginia, especially. Like, where do you think that would be?
Man, I like the suburbs. I live in
Same,
Springfield, Virginia right now. I actually love the neighborhood I'm in, but I would say, I mean, for me, I as a young adult, probably Arlington, Alexandria. Yeah. But I think raising a family, I mean, Centerville is actually very nice. And
Centerville's got a good location too. It's like right off 66 and everything.
Yeah, and it's quiet out there, and I mean, but there's still good stuff out there. I mean, there's like the Bull Run Winery, and there's good food out there. Yeah, but it's not too far from DC. But I have my sister and her family living in Centerville, so I go there often. I always think it's a great spot. We were just in Ashburn. And actually, Ashburn, it was like Old Town Ashburn. I didn't know they had one. But
I didn't even know they had that either.
Yeah, it was actually nice. It was very nice.
Like by the Leesburg area.
Yeah, but I was born and raised in like Springfield, Burke, the West Springfield. Like, I actually think Fairfax Station, that's a great area with like nice houses.
Yeah, Fairfax Station is nice. That's a good spot over there too. Those houses, dude. Speaking of that, you just made me think of it. You grew up in Burke. Do you believe in this Bunny Man Bridge?
Oh yeah, I saw you
post about it. I did 2 videos about this, and like people went buck wild about it. Yeah,
I saw you post about it. I don't, but I've gone there with my friends. That's in Burke or Fairfax Station?
It's in Burke.
Yeah. I've gone there with my friends a couple times.
Nothing creepy happened. Like no dude came walking by in a bunny suit.
I did look up like the whole story and stuff behind it. It's funny. It's fun to like as a kid. Yeah,
that is fun. The TV show that I saw that were talking about it. Like they interviewed like local residents, and they had like the scary music on.
Yeah.
And then they had like a lady from the Burke Historical Society, and she was like, "Yeah, these are the different stories." Like they were dead serious about it. I was like, "Man, maybe this is real. This is kind of creepy."
Could be, but
yeah, dude.
But we've definitely been there a couple times as kids, and like just my friends and I in high school, middle school. But yeah.
So like I wonder if the people that live there like run you off, or they got to be annoyed by that. I would think so.
Yeah, but I guess it's not on like personal property, that like bridge.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I guess like, yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people stop
Yeah.
over there. Yeah.
Dude, I wish I would have known when you were going. I would have showed up in a bunny suit.
Yeah. And just
like scared
get their
the crap out of you.
reaction.
Yeah, dude.
And then you can get a video and say there is a bunny man out
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
too.
Then it's me.
Yeah.
Well, cool, dude. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you coming
No,
out
thank
here.
you
Like,
for
what's your
having me.
page? Like, how can everyone follow you and all
Yeah,
that?
at DCSpot, SPOT on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube's DCSpot, and personal is Alex H on Instagram, at Alex H.
And if like a restaurant or like a business wanted to hit you up, they just like DM you.
Yeah, DM. I have my email in my Instagram and TikTok bio. It's hello@dcspot.com.
All right, cool. And if you guys know, if you're thinking about buying or selling a house, you better hit me up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.